He's one of our plan to see him fight in 25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight.
Both Canelo and Crawford's fans have been eager to see them fight, and the rumors of a possible matchup between them refuse to fade.
The strategy is leaving with my hand, rolls and everybody mouth dropping. That's how I can, sums it up.
After months of uncertainty, the idea of these two champions fighting seems to have gained new hope. The journey has been full of ups and downs, but now there may be a small light at the end of the tunnel.
As long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo. And he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so...
Last month, Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, was at the top of his game. Edgar Berlanga proved to be a strong opponent, allowing Canelo to defend his belts and reaffirm why he is one of the best fighters in the world today. Fans are used to seeing Canelo fight on Cinco de Mayo, but his next opponent remains a mystery. This uncertainty has fueled more rumors, with Terence Crawford's name once again rising to the top of the list.
Boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do weight.
Crawford's journey has been truly unique. The former welterweight champion shocked the world by moving up to super welterweight to face the formidable Israel MOF. Not only did Crawford emerge victorious, but he also secured a title in a fourth weight division, further cementing his legacy. Fans have been eager to see Crawford move up in weight to challenge Canelo, and the fighter himself has expressed his readiness for the task. But is this matchup truly possible?
Terence Crawford was with Turki Alalshikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
Earlier this year, Saudi chief Turki Alalshikh showed great interest in organizing the fight. With his resources and connections, it seemed like he might be able to make what many consider a dream match a reality. However, talks stalled when Canelo refused to discuss the fight before his showdown with Berlanga. This decision led Alalshikh to step back, and for a while, the fight seemed like nothing more than wishful thinking.
If the money is right, I mean...
$100 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
Now, Alalshikh has taken a surprising step, putting the ball back in Canelo's court. Speaking to DAZN, he made it clear that he is ready to restart negotiations, but only if the discussions happen directly between him and Canelo. I don't know anyone from Canelo's team now, and I have no connections. But if he's hearing me, I'm ready to talk, Alalshikh stated. I want to discuss this directly with him without anyone in the middle. This direct approach could be a game changer. Alalshikh is known for making big moves in the boxing world, and his willingness to bypass intermediaries shows how serious he is about making this fight happen. The question now is, will Canelo respond to the call?
I'm an all-around athlete. There ain't nothing I can't do.
So what you doing to enjoy yourself since winning the belts?
Fans are thrilled about the possibilities. However, Canelo hasn't been without his doubters. David Benavidez, another name often linked to the Mexican superstar, recently accused him of turning down a massive $70 million offer to face an undefeated former world champion. Whether or not this claim is true, it has added pressure on Canelo to deliver a blockbuster fight in 2024. Facing Crawford could be the perfect answer. For Crawford, this fight represents not just a chance to cement his legacy, but also an opportunity to silence those who doubt his ability to compete at 168 pounds. Despite the significant weight difference, Crawford has never backed down from a challenge. His dominant performance against Madma earlier this year proved that he is willing to push himself to the limit. Taking on Canelo would be no exception.
And remember, Canelo is a guy who presses a lot. That's one thing Canelo does. Canelo's not very active, but he gets in your face and he mentally presses you a lot by cutting off the ring, getting in your face. So I start to wonder if going up to super middleweight is going to be a bridge too far for Crawford. But hey, man, he got the win, and I guess that's going to be the talking point from now as well.
The stakes couldn't be higher for both fighters. A victory for Canelo would further solidify his status as one of the greatest boxers of this era, while a win for Crawford would establish him as a legend in his own right. Fans are already imagining the fireworks this fight could bring, with both fighters known for their skill, strategy, and determination. The presence of Alalshikh adds another layer of intrigue. As the mastermind behind Crawford's recent bout in Riyadh, he has proven he can put together major events that capture the attention of the boxing world.
Hit you everywhere, and you're a naturally smaller guy, it could start to take effect. It's a fight people are going to want to see, and if Canelo's not going to fight Benavidez and he's not going to fight Moreau, which we've obviously seen he's not, you'd rather end up seeing Canelo against a Crawford for like some kind of super fantasy fight, rather than Canelo against, I don't know, the guy who's going to deliver my pizza later, you know what I mean?
His latest comments suggest that he is still invested in making Crawford versus Canelo happen, even after previously stating he would focus on securing bigger fights for Crawford elsewhere. It's worth noting that Crawford's win over Emhoff was more than just another addition to his record. It was a statement. The UFC fighter was no pushover, and Crawford's ability to dominate him sent a clear message to anyone doubting his versatility. The victory also reignited discussions about his next opponent, with Canelo's name frequently surfacing in conversations among fans and analysts alike.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and like he say, they talking about the fight with Germonta, right? Mm-hmm. I think he say nobody's gonna give me credit if I beat him. It's the same thing, you know. It's the same thing. I think it's.
On the other hand, Canelo's win against Berlanga was met with mixed reactions. While it was another successful defense of his titles, some critics felt the fight lacked the excitement expected from a Canelo main event. This has only heightened expectations for his next bout, as fans hope to see him face a truly formidable opponent. With his reputation and recent accomplishments, Crawford fits that description perfectly. Additionally, the potential fight raises questions about strategy. How would Crawford adapt to boxing at 168 pounds? Would his speed and accuracy be enough to counter Canelo's power and experience at that weight? And for Canelo, would facing someone as skilled and relentless as Crawford force him to rethink his usual approach?
Man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night.
Those are questions that even Crawford himself once found difficult to answer. At one point, he didn't seem interested in pursuing a fight at 168 pounds, especially against Canelo Alvarez. Speaking to Sporting News in a video before his famous win over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford made his stance clear. "I ain't going up there," he said, leaving fans doubtful that such a matchup would ever happen. Yet here we are. With the fight now confirmed, Crawford has completely shifted his mindset, turning what once seemed impossible into his biggest motivation. In recent months, his hunger to face Canelo has only grown.
See, he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
On the Porterway podcast, Crawford revealed just how much this fight means to him. "To be honest, the Canelo fight was my motivation," he admitted. "The idea of starting at lightweight and climbing all the way to super middleweight with no catch weight is daunting, even for someone as accomplished as Crawford. But for him, the challenge is what makes it exciting. It would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168 with no catch weight and dethrone you," Crawford said, acknowledging the high stakes for both fighters. Even he understands that moving up in weight is a massive challenge. Having already made history by becoming a champion across 4 weight divisions, he is now setting his sights on achieving something no one has ever done before.
For Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
You know, it's crazy when you ask him about that, because you say, your matchup is coming out with the other weight classes, and he's welterweight, so don't make sense.
Still, Crawford remains grounded, saying, Man, it's something to talk about. Retirement, you know, there are things we talk about. Right now, I'm still doing what I do. Canelo has got a fight coming up, so I never want to make it about me and Canelo. While Crawford has always been respectful in his approach, Canelo has been far less enthusiastic about the fight. In the past, the Mexican superstar has openly dismissed the idea, claiming it offers him no real reward. If you picture Crawford as a welterweight at 168 pounds, I have everything to lose and nothing to gain, Canelo explained. If I win, they'll say, oh, he was too small and everything. His hesitation makes sense. There's a lot on the line for him, too. Losing to an opponent moving up multiple weight classes would be a massive blow to his reputation.
The crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
Still, Crawford has refused to back down, proving himself time and again. His recent victory over Israel Emimov to win the WBA world title at super welterweight brought him one step closer to this historic showdown. Even then, Canelo remained unimpressed. Speaking to Fight Hype, Canelo questioned Crawford's performance, saying, I think he knows why there are weight classes, right? He makes a good fight, but for me, I think he lost the fight, or at best. Got a draw? It could have gone the other way. Crawford was quick to fire back on the Porterway show, reminding fans of Canelo's own struggles when moving up in weight. They talk all this crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up in weight and won. He went up and lost, so let's not do that, Canelo. It was a sharp response, highlighting the grit Crawford brings to this potential matchup. Canelo's loss to Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight is still fresh in the minds of many fans. In that fight, Bivol outboxed him over 12 rounds, exposing vulnerabilities when Canelo faces bigger opponents. While Canelo did win his first fight at 175 pounds against Sergey Kovalev, his record at higher weights isn't flawless. Crawford sees this as proof that he's ready to take on challenges just as big, if not bigger, than Canelo's.
A lot of people say, well, Terence Crawford wants to fight Canelo Alvarez to prove he's the best. Me personally, I think it's just a cash grab. And he's just trying to get as much money as he can before he...
Crawford's argument gains even more weight when considering Canelo's recent choice of opponents. Not long ago, Canelo faced Jermell Charlo, a former undisputed champion at super welterweight. If Canelo was willing to fight Charlo, why not Crawford? After all, both fighters have proven themselves in the ring and are chasing greatness. Fans see this fight as a natural progression, a chance for both men to prove they are the best of the best. For Crawford, this fight isn't just about titles or records. It's about making history. Moving up to 168 pounds and dethroning Canelo would cement his legacy as one of the greatest fighters of all time. While the challenge is immense, Crawford's confidence remains unshaken. He understands the risks, but he also knows the rewards are worth it. That's what makes this fight so special. It's not just another boxing match. It's a moment that could change the sport forever.
Barred over a decade ago, no one's been a bigger Terence Crawford believer than Tim Bradley.
Right.
And so Tim still picks Terence to beat Boots, still picks Terence to beat Canelo.
Canelo, on the other hand, has always been focused on his reputation. He has taken on the best and proven himself time and again. But this fight with Crawford is different. It's not just about adding another win to his record, it's about protecting his place at the top of the sport. The pressure is immense and the stakes couldn't be higher. Fans are eager to see how he will rise to the occasion. This is the kind of matchup that doesn't come around often, a clash of two legends at the peak of their powers. Both fighters have everything to lose and everything to gain, which makes it all the more thrilling. Fans are already debating who will come out on top, analyzing every detail and speculating about what might happen in the ring.
Terence Crawford has a chance against Canelo Alvarez at 168.
I think he has a chance against either one of those guys. The weight, though, is a serious thing. And one of the reasons why Canelo is so successful is he's got such a good chin.
Crawford's journey to this moment has been nothing short of extraordinary. Starting at 135 pounds and climbing through the weight classes, he has faced every challenge head-on. Now at 37 years old, he is ready to take on the biggest test of his career, For Canelo, this fight is an opportunity to silence his critics and prove once and for all that he is the best fighter of his era. As the boxing world gears up for this epic showdown, one thing is clear: this fight is more than just a clash between two champions. It's a test of will, skill, and determination.
His name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he is not in the...
Both fighters have taken different paths to reach this point, but they share the same goal: to be remembered as the greatest. Amir Khan remains the only fighter to have shared the ring with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, giving him a unique perspective on this potential showdown. Having faced each fighter at different stages of his career, Khan's insights carry weight, especially as speculation about a clash between Crawford and Canelo continues to grow.
And making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller Amir Khan.
Yeah, he did.
Khan first stepped into the ring with Canelo in May 2016, moving up from welterweight to challenge for the WBC middleweight title. The fight, contested at a 155-pound catchweight, ended in a devastating 6th round. Knockout loss for Khan. Despite the defeat, he experienced firsthand the sheer power and size that Canelo brings to the ring. 3 years later, Khan faced Crawford in a welterweight bout for the WBO world title. At the peak of his abilities, Crawford stopped Khan in the 6th round as well, showcasing his versatility, precision, and speed. Having faced both fighters under different circumstances, Khan has a unique perspective on their strengths and weaknesses, making his insights particularly valuable as speculation about a potential showdown between them continues to grow.
No, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down.
Speaking to Box Nation, Khan reflected on the potential matchup between Canelo and Crawford, offering his honest assessment of how the fight might unfold. Canelo is a beast, man. I fought both of those guys, and I feel that size always wins. There's a reason we have weight classes. Terence is special, don't get me wrong, but then there's getting hit by a guy like Canelo. Khan emphasized the immense challenge Crawford would face, particularly in dealing with Canelo's power and size advantage. However, despite acknowledging the risks, Khan remained loyal to Crawford and praised his exceptional skill set.
And look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
What a fight that would be, though. I'll support my boy Terence, and I want him to win that fight, but it would be tough. Does he need that fight? No, I don't think so. He has already done so well in his career and beaten everyone. Khan also discussed the motivations that could push Crawford to take the fight, emphasizing the potential for a massive payday. He's unbeatable and one of the best pound-for-pound fighters out there. But if it's a big payday, then I understand why it would happen. Why would Terence take a risky fight for less money when he can take an extremely tough fight for serious money? We never want to see fighters get hurt, but he's a special talent. If that fight happens, it's hard to predict a winner, but I would be in Terence's corner.
Yo, Turkey, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes! Let's go! Canelo, come on!
Khan's assessment highlights the complexity of a potential Crawford versus Canelo showdown. The clash would undoubtedly be a monumental event in boxing, pitting 2 of the sport's best talents against each other in a high-stakes battle. Adding further intrigue to the discussion is the viewpoint of Alexander Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion known for his technical brilliance and sharp boxing IQ. Speaking on the 3 Knockdown Rule podcast, Usyk made a bold statement in favor of Crawford. I think Terence will win. Terence is a different man. He works on both sides, right and left. He understands space. Terence can box like a big guy. Usyk's confidence in Crawford stems from the American's ability to adapt, his high ring intelligence, and his proficiency in fighting from both orthodox and southpaw stances. For Usyk, Crawford's ability to box like a big guy suggests that he possesses the tools necessary to overcome Canelo's physical advantages.
Ho! Terence Crawford would have to move up.
Crawford's most recent performance, a victory over Israel, a mem-off in August that earned him the WBO Super Welterweight title, further highlights his readiness to take on bigger challenges. Despite Memoff's reputation as a formidable opponent, Crawford outclassed him with relative ease, showcasing his dominance across multiple weight divisions. Usyk's endorsement of Crawford aligns with the growing belief that, even at 37 years old, he remains at the peak of his powers. His ability to move through weight classes and consistently deliver high-level performances has cemented his status as one of boxing's all-time greats.